Hello friends, now we'll be seeing second problem. This is much similar to the previous problem which we have seen. Sort of a dual to that problem. That our first problem was maximize z equal to x1 into x2 into x3 subject to x1 plus x2 plus x3 is equal to 27. This time we have the problem minimize z equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3, sort of taken from the earlier problem's constraint, and the constraint is sort of built from the earlier problem's objective function. This time the constraint is x1 into x2 into x3 is equal to 27. Again, going in the similar way, in the first stage we'll be considering variable x1 only. In the second stage we'll be considering variable x2 along with x1, and in the third stage we'll be considering variable x3 along with previous stage variables x2 and x1. Okay, now that you have understood previous problem, understanding this won't take much of the time. So going to stage 1, variable x1. Alright, now here our problem then becomes minimize z equal to x1, right, subject to x1 is equal to b1. As we have seen in our previous problem's explanation, the constraints are to be variabilized. Constraint right hand side is to be variabilized. Okay, so we are having the right hand side for the constraint as b1. B1 will be a state variable. We have been saying that the assumed limit of the constraint we call as a state variable. So here b1 is a state variable. Now that we have taken state variable, we now need to think of the alternative. So again, for taking alternative, we just declare let x1 be u1. u1 are the variable values of x1. Okay, so that is our alternative. Now r1, we now need to find the return for the first stage as a function of state variable and the alternative u1. Okay, r1 as a function of b1 and u1. Okay, simply put the value of x1 as u1 in objective function, that will give you the return function. r1 as a function of b1 and u1 comes out to be u1. Right, then you need to find the optimal return, and that is the function of b1 only. Okay, this optimal return will be called by the next stage. Okay, r1 b1, r1 as a function of b1. Right, now that you know x1 is equal to b1, therefore by putting this b1 in the objective function, you get r1 star r1 optimal as a function of b1 equal to b1 itself. Right, this optimal return function gives us a way of finding optimal return for any parameter passed to that function. Right, now coming on to stage 2, x2 is the variable of our interest, a variable of second stage. We will be considering that along with x1, which has already been considered in the previous stage. Our problem now in the second stage builds like minimize z equal to x2 plus x1. Okay, for a specific intention, I am writing the problem in this style. I am not writing x1 first and then x2 next as was written in the problem given. I am writing x2 first and then x1. Rather, a reverse way of writing the problem. Minimize z equal to x2 plus x1 subject to x2 into x1 is equal to b2. right? B2 is our state variable. Okay, there will be various values tried. There are various values tried in place of B2 in our tabular approach. Okay, depicting that B2 is a variable. B2 is a state variable, right? Now that we have taken the state variable, we now have to think of what is the alternative for second stage variable x2. Okay, so let x2 be u2. Now we have state variable b2, we have alternative u2. In the second stage, now we have to find out what is the state variable, what is the value of state remaining for previous stage. Okay, after having consumed u2 for x2 and knowing that b2 is the state variable, value remaining for previous stage. Okay, look here, previous stage is a substate of your second state problem. Okay, so value remaining for previous stage is b2 by u2, because your constraint is x2 into x1 is equal to b2. x2 you know as u2, therefore value which remains for previous stage and by way of previous stage for x1, it is b2 by u2, right? Value remaining for previous stage, value of state remaining for previous stage is b2 by u2. And now that we know the value of state remaining for previous stage, we can find the optimal return from previous stage for value of state remaining for previous stage. That is to say, R1 star for B2 by U2. Because B2 by U2 is the value of state remaining for previous stage, and R1 star is the optimal return for previous stage. So R1 star for B2 by U2, you can find the way you have found R1 star for B1 as B1. So R1 star for B2 by U2 will be B2 by U2 simply. Right? Now, you will be interested in finding the return, okay, for state variable and alternative, right? R2, B2, R2 for B2 and U2. Okay, there will be two components. One is the return for current state, that is for x2 here. So you simply put the value u2 for x2 because u2 is the alternative for x2, right? u2 plus is the sign which is there in this objective function, so plus here. You recall in your previous problem, here there was multiplied by, because in objective function there was multiplied by sign. So whatever sign exists in objective function will be there in the return function also. Plus, now the optimal return for remaining value of state for previous stage. Okay, so we have established that optimal return for remaining value of state for previous stage is B2 by U2. Okay, so R2 for B2 U2 comes out to be U2 plus B2 by U2, right? Now we want to find minimum for this. In our earlier problem, it was maximum we were finding. That time we simply differentiated and we knew whatever value we will be getting of u2 will be giving us maximum there. And here also we have to assume that after differentiating this function with respect to u2 and equating to 0, whatever value of u2 we will be getting will be giving the minimum for r2. Okay, otherwise we have to go for the second differentiation and establish that u2 obtained will be giving us the minimum value. That is the so I hope you understand the risk of using differentiation here. There could be another approaches of finding u2 for giving the minimum value of the written function. Okay, but we are using differentiation here. So what we are doing, differentiating this function with respect to u2, right? dr2 with respect to u2 and equating to 0. Differentiation of u2 is 1 and differentiation of b2 by u2 is 1 is minus b2 by u2 square, and after equating it to 0 we get u2 as square root of b2 to the power 1 by 2, and by putting this value in this we get r2 star b2 as twice square root of b2, because u2 is square root of b2 and b2 by u2, this is again square root of b2. So b2 by square root of b2 is square root of b2. So this r2's optimal for b2 is twice square root of b2. So this gives us the way for finding the optimal return in the second stage for any parameter past b2. How do we find the optimal return for second stage? It will be twice the square root of parameter past, right? Now let's go to the third stage, stage 3. Now the variable x3 along with x2 and x1, this x2 and x1 we have dealt with in the previous stage, second stage. Our problem now becomes z equal to x2 z equal to x3 plus x2 plus x1, everything written in the reversed way, or the way in which we have dealt with the variables. In the first stage we have dealt with x1, in the second stage we have dealt with x2 and x1, in this stage we are dealing x3 along with x2 and x1, and the constraint is x3 into x2 into x1 is equal to b3. b3 is our state variable now. Okay, and you once again notice here that this thing along which the cursor is moving is the problem which we dealt in the previous stage, right? Anyway, now that we had our state variable b3, but x3 is equal to u3, let x3 be u3 is our alternative. Okay, we have state variable b3, alternative u3. Now let us find the value of state remaining for previous stage. Okay, now that I have consumed u3 for x3 and my state variable is b3, what remains for previous stage will be b3 by u3. Now that I know the value of state remaining for previous stage, I need to find out optimal return from previous stage for that remaining value of state. Okay, from previous stage. So this is stage number 3. I have to find optimal return for previous stage, that means R2 star for remaining value of state, that is b3 by u3. Okay, is the value remaining value of state remaining for previous stage. Now from the previous stage I came to know the approach by which I find the R2 star for parameter past b2 as twice the square root of parameter past. So here too the optimal return for the remaining value of state will be twice b3 by u3 to the power bracket to the power 1 by 2. Okay, Now I have the optimal return from previous stage. Now let us vary for the total return for the current for the problem which we are dealing in the current stage. So R3 for state variable B3 and alternative U3 is equal to U3, which we are substituting for X3, plus the optimal return for remaining value of state for previous stage, that is twice B3 by U3 to the power 1 by 3, which is I am taking from here. Alright. Now I want to find the maximum return for third stage for parameter B3, state variable B3, because I know optimal return is the is dependent only on, is the function of B3 only. Okay, so for finding the minimum value of R3, I need to differentiate this function with respect to U3 and equate to 0. dR3 by dU3 equal to 0. Differentiation of this comes equal to 1, and differentiation of this comes equal to 2 into 1 by 2 into B3 by U3 to the power minus 1 by 2 into differentiation of B3 by U3 comes equal to minus B3 by U3 square, equating this to 0. We finally end up getting U3 is equal to B3 to the power 1 by 3. Right? And by substituting this value in the return function, okay, that is U3 plus twice B3 by U3 to the power 1 by 2, we get R3 optimal for B3 as 3 into B3 to the power 1 by 3. Okay, here I am doing the calculations directly. At least I am explaining that to you directly. What you need to do is verify these calculations while I am explaining these things to you. You are supposed to take the notes in your own way, because that is the final thing which will be helping you the best. Okay, based upon whatever I am explaining, you keep on taking your notes. So R3 star B3 is 3 times B3 to the power 1 by 3. Right? Now as B3 keeps on increasing, the return function also keeps on increasing. It means that when B3 is to its maximum value, that is 27, you will be getting the best value. So I'm sorry, this is not increasing, this is decreasing. Your objective function is minimization. Okay, right? So when R3 is equal to R3 is equal to 27, because you are given B3 is equal to 27 finally. So you will be putting B3 is equal to 27. You are bound to put B3 equal to 27, because by this time you have considered the problem to its totality. Okay, so you know here B3 is equal to 27. So when I put B3 is equal to 27, I get the idea of the return I will be getting by putting 27 here. 3 into 27 to the power 1 by 3. So 27 to the power 1 by 3 gets you 3. 3 into 3, 9. So minimum value of the objective function which I will be getting will be 9. Okay. Now I should worry about getting the values of x1, x2, x3. First I will be getting the value of x3, because I know x3 is equal to u3, and u3 I have got here as b3 to the power 1 by 3. Okay, b3 I know 27. 27 to the power 1 by 3 is 3. Now you very well know that out of the state value 27, you have used 3. Okay, and now you know value of the state remaining for previous state in the style we have seen now in our previous stage. Value of the state remaining for previous stage is B3 by U3. B3 is 27, U3 is 3, okay, U3 is 3, so 27 by 3 gets you 9. That is the value of B2, okay. And now you will be getting x2 is equal to u2, and from previous stage you know that u2 is equal to b2 to the power 1 by 2, okay. You want to go to that location, just see here, okay. B2 is equal to B2 U2 is equal to B2 by 2, right. U2 is equal to B2 by 2, and you know here I'm sorry, some mismatch has come, but if you connect to your second stage, there you will know that x2 is equal to x2 is equal to u2, and u2 is equal to b2 to the power 1 by 2. This we have established in our second stage. B2 is 9 here, 9 to the power 1 by 2 is 3. That means x2 is 3. This process is backtracking. Just from every previous stage we get the value of the variable of importance to that stage, right. Now x1 is equal to u1, okay. Value of the state remaining for previous stage, that was b2 by u2, okay. B2 we knew that it was 9, u2 we have found 3, 9 by 3 is 3, that is equal to b1. In the first stage we have established that x1 is equal to u1 is equal to b1 is equal to 3. Hence our solution to this problem is x1 is equal to 3, x2 is equal to 3, x3 is equal to 3, okay. What is important in this problem? This problem you could have solved by tabular approach, provided x1, x2, x3 were known to be integers. But here it is not specified that they are integers, right? So we finish the second problem here. What is important to be learnt here is how to deal with the continuous variables, right? So thank you, friends. We stop here for the second problem, and in the third problem we'll be dealing with how to solve LPP by using dynamic programming, okay. After going through that approach, you will then decide whether it is worth to use dynamic programming for solving linear programming problem, LPP. Thank you.